Hello. I'm literally like sharing it on my Facebook.
Oh, my cell
Okay.
phone's dead and over there, so I
Oh,
can't do
well,
that.
I've now shared it. Good morning, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, whatever time of day it is you're watching.
Good day, good day, good day.
Good day, good day, good day.
Happy presents to you all.
Yes.
Welcome.
It's
This is the
Monday.
rant.
I love the
This,
rant.
this is the rant. I love the rant. I love that we get to come together and just have radically affirmative new thoughts
Mhm.
together. Let us know you're watching. We
Yeah.
are all over the place: YouTube, Facebook,
Yeah.
Unity, one love. We are all over the place. So let us see your love and that you're here. Love, like, share, clicking on those buttons and letting us know you care.
Yeah. I don't know if this was I gotta adjust my chair. My chair is not quite right. There. That feels better. I don't know if
Mhm.
this was a thing in Canada. That we used to have, like, back in the day when I was a kid, there were TV commercials for you know the white pages, and it
Mm.
was the or was it just the telephone company? I don't remember. Anyway, the whole like jingle was reach out and touch someone, and I'm like, that's what I want people to do here on the rant. Reach out
Reach
and touch
out.
someone.
Yes.
Let people know. Yeah.
There's a song though. Reach out and touch. Is that Faith? Reach
Reach
out
out and
and
touch
touch.
faith. That's
Faith.
the song Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode.
Personal Jesus. Yes. Personal
Which
Jesus. Oh.
I went to so that was their, so that not, you ready? That was their Violator album. The album was called Violator. And I went to the World Violation Tour in 1990 or 91. Uh, and it was one of the best concerts I have ever been to.
Mm.
I had such a great time at that concert, seeing Depeche Mode live. Oof, it was
Nice.
awesome. Yeah.
I have been to
I'm a
so
new wave
few.
kid from the 80s, right? That was like my musical jam, was
Mhm.
Depeche Mode, and New Order, and Bronski Beat, and like all these things that I go back and I listen to the Sirius XM in my car, and it's like, yeah, these are the oldies.
Yeah, yeah. Songs younger than us are old. Yeah.
But and they are, because if you think about it, so the 1980s music is the equivalent to today's teenagers as the 1940s music was to me in the 80s when I was a teenager.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
It's not crazy. It's just fascinating. It's like because
Yeah.
time is an illusion that we humans are determined to measure.
Hmm.
And I love that we humans prove it's an illusion twice a year with something called daylight savings time
Yes.
because
Which
it is an
does
illusion.
which reminds me, if
Hmm.
you are in Arizona,
Hmm.
just a reminder, everyone else is going to turn their clocks this week. They're going to fall
Yep.
back this week, right?
Yep.
Except in Arizona, we don't observe daylight savings time. So, what that means is the rant next Wednesday will be an hour later for you who are in Arizona. So, I just
Yes.
want to make sure I don't forget to say that.
But
Depeche Mode, The
everyone
Cure. Oh,
else
yes. Radiate Life,
won't
Aurora
move.
Life. Depeche Mode, The Cure, The
Hmm.
Smiths,
Oh
OMD.
yes.
Uh, yeah, like, yeah.
Okay, but so like in the 80s, I was listening to like Tiffany.
Uh huh.
I had my mom couldn't find a nameplate that said Steph or Stephanie. They were sold
Hmm.
out because Stephanie, just FYI, is in the top 20 names from 1920 something to 2000 and something. It's always been in that, so it's hard to find
Hmm.
stuff. So she got me a nameplate that said Tiffany on it because I was a fan.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had a
But
few
yeah.
people, more people log in, because it's funny because we can see some of the numbers as you log in,
Yeah.
and we can see that people are watching. So I just want to put it out there again, just to say, hey, what's on your mind that you want us to rant about today? Because it is
Yeah.
radically affirmative new thought. What's coming up for you? I mean, we do have something that we're gonna that we've talked about talking about that came in towards the end of last week's rant, and we didn't really address it in that moment. So we're bringing it back to this week. So we'll come up with that. But here's I want to ask you this question, Steph. What is real? Only the light philosophical questions.
What is real?
Yeah, what is real?
Because like daylight savings time is an illusion, or evidence of time is an illusion. What is real? I think a feeling. A feeling can be real.
Ooh.
But it also can be an illusion.
Yeah, but you spark the conversation that we had a couple weeks ago in my Tuesday night class that kind of got brought up again last night. And it was, there's this whole discussion now about AI and whether or not AI will ever achieve being sentient or having consciousness, or and will AI, artificial intelligence, ever be considered a life? Have we created some form of life? And I have a whole idea that, and I'm open to here's the thing, I'm always open to being wrong. But here's what I think about that. I think that like our minds, we can program thoughts, we can program beliefs, and we will behave rooted in thoughts and beliefs. But the factor that AI, because you can basically program AI, right? In the same way that we can program our minds. But the factor that differentiates AI from us is feeling. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago, right? When we were talking about data on Star Trek. And so feeling, again, is always the thing for me.
Feeling is always the thing.
If there is not an inherent feeling tone, then I don't think it can be anything other than artificial. And I actually, one of the things that we talked about in my class last night, when I was in my doctorate program, there was a class that I was in, and so I will just tell you this, we would go into this class. It was a 3-hour class meeting. We would have these insane philosophical discussions for 3 hours. And one of the things that the class would unfold is we would basically be posed a philosophical question, and then we would chip away at it, all of us in the class. There were about 20 of us, and we would give our thoughts and feelings over it. And then we would get to the end of the class, and would be the question would be posed again, and almost across the board, every single class, the answer to the question would be, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. This past year has really been so profound to me in discovering my ability to say, I don't know. I don't know. Do I need to know? Do I need to know that thing? Do I need to know it? Because I don't know it. Yeah. If I do need to know it, it will come to me. Whatever I need to know will find its way to me.
And that's a statement of faith. Because not everybody lives from that point of view, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. We've got some good questions, how can oneness faith spread like a virus? Wayne, I'd also like you to answer that, because the mind that creates the question is also the mind that has an answer.
That is true.
But oneness, I was going to that feeling sense, right? Oneness to me is a feeling. It's not an understanding. I don't think we as a human species, in my lifetime anyway, will comprehend that what oneness is mentally. But oneness came to me as a feeling. And so how to spread that would be to support activity in your life that expresses that same feeling, right? So oneness is a lack of separation. And so it's you're passing that feeling on through your actions by being one with others. So no judgment, no labeling, no interrupting, no roasting, like all of the things that create separation um are the byproducts of the belief in separation.
Mhm.
So oneness, if you have that, if you are one with this infinite universe, and this infinite universe is the expression of oneness, my faith is that being oneness and living from that, recognizing and knowing that, I mean, like a virus, it um instead of using the word virus, which has negative separation, bad things associated with it, right? How can oneness spread like molecules in the air? How can oneness spread like what is it? The dandelions? What are the ones that are the big fluff ball?
Dandelions.
Like how oneness spreads like seeds in the air. You are the activity of oneness, and so what are you bringing into the world that counters separation?
So I have another thought on this,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a sticky thought. Because the question, I think, presumes there's a presumption in the question
Mm-hmm.
that prioritizes the faith of like oneness faith over other ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it, when we step into presumption, I think it would be really nice to, perhaps consider the idea that we might be wrong. I hold firm in my own resolve that the faith in oneness, the understanding of infinite wholeness, that is a way that we will heal the discord in the world.
Mm.
And yet, that's my idea.
Yeah.
And so, as a minister, it is the message that I try to spread. I try to espouse it. And so, but the way that I intend to do that is by embodying the principle of oneness in all my activity, in all my behavior, and letting myself become like the great mystics of the world, to really be an example
Yeah.
of oneness and let others learn by example, not try
Mm-hmm.
to intellectualize the idea of it and say, here, figure this out. Like, no, demonstrate it in my own life. And as I demonstrate it in my life, then let's just arbitrarily say 10 people will demonstrate it in their lives. And then those 10 people will each touch 10 people who will demonstrate it in their lives. And all of a sudden, we are exponentially increasing the spread of oneness faith.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also open to that idea being wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think also, like, believing in oneness and acting like it, like placing your faith as it, as oneness. I am oneness. What are you spreading? Where's it spreading to?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If we are infinite oneness, that's all we have to be. We don't
Right.
have to spread it. We don't have to force our beliefs on other people or anything. We're not forcing. I mean, because then we'll just see the continuation of oppression,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Be it, live it, act as though you know it. I want to bring this. What is sentience? It is. Yeah. It's things. It's a sentient being is someone who can feel and perceive, to show awareness, and respond with awareness. So it's sentience is being able to feel and discern information in a conscious way.
Yeah. A sentient being is one who can spill their coffee on their desktop on a live video and have weird reaction
Mhm.
uh, about it. Oh my gosh, yeah,
Mhm.
I've made quite a mess here. Okay.
'Cause my Instagram handle, like my personal Instagram is a sentient being.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I shifted my business to the art of sentient being.
Hmm.
And so, that's why I know what the word means so readily.
Yeah. Well,
I
on some
love
level,
being sentient.
you could also simplify the idea of, and I'm going to use language. And here's the thing: we all use language,
Mhm,
but it gets challenging because language is really clumsy.
mhm.
But to be sentient in a way is to be awake.
Yeah.
You know, awake in awareness, and almost maybe even awake in self-awareness, and
Mhm,
awareness that there's a connected action, or there's a connectivity of self to the whole.
mhm.
That's, I don't know. And again, I'm open to be wrong. I'm open to being wrong.
Yep.
I'm always open to being wrong.
I'm always open to being wrong. And
Yeah.
people try to prove that I am all over the place. So
Yeah. Oh,
I just
oh
let
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. Because I like a sentient being, people would say humans are sentient. However, I believe there's a very small amount of humans that are actually sentient.
no, they're all sentient
We're
beings,
also we all have the possibility.
but there's an element of sentience, I believe, in
Mhm.
other species that are not human.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
includes plants.
Yep. There's
That
science.
includes the livingness of, what we perceive to be unalive, like, rocks and
Mhm.
minerals and things
Mhm.
like that. I think that there's an element of sentience in all creation.
Yeah, because
And
it really is about perceiving and feeling things,
right.
perceiving and feeling things, so
And the way we differentiate it is perhaps, our misunderstanding of what things perceive and feel. I don't know what I look out here and I see this desert willow tree outside my window. I don't know what it perceives and feels,
Mm.
but I still call it alive. But just because I don't know what it perceives and feels does not mean that it is not sentient.
Right, well, because we can't even know for sure, what our loved ones perceive and feel.
No.
We don't, so, like, this is everything we talk about is always it's an inside job. It's a me first awakening, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to awaken through somebody else's perception. You have to discern and discover that for yourself. Each and every
Yeah.
one of us get to do that.
Yeah.
There's a new device. It can you can hook it up to plant life and it will make music based on its vibration and frequency. It will make music and it's
Yeah.
delicious, delicious. I want one. They're a little pricey, but
Um, Reverend
someday.
Rita in Kauai,
Mhm.
Reverend Rita has that. And so, like, when I've been to, because I used to go visit, actually, I haven't been in a long time, but I would visit them in Kauai and go to their community, and they would always have a annual retreat. They actually just finished that annual retreat. I didn't go this year, but
Oh,
she
yeah.
has that, and so I stay with them in their house, and she always puts it in and like plays, and the music just plays. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah,
I
I
do
would
want
like
to
to know
though.
what my plants sound like.
I do want to follow up though,
Mhm.
as well, because there's a answer to the question about the oneness and faith that I think this actually
Oh,
goes in line with what I was saying,
oh my
which
god, there's so much more comments here.
oh yeah,
They were
acts of
hidden.
kindness spreads at the speed of light and beyond. And so
Yes,
be that, be
be
the
that.
oneness faith. I want to say hi to Martha. Good day, dear ones. Grateful to see you. Yes, yes, yes. Also, treating others the way that we desire to be treated is not a reaction, not as a reaction to how people are treating us. That is true. Now, I have an issue with the golden rule. Do you know that?
I didn't know, didn't know.
Yeah. Um, because if we seek to treat others the way that we desire to be treated, what if we don't care for ourselves very much and we
Mhm,
desire to be treated in an ill manner?
mhm.
Are we treating others in an ill manner? It's just it's a little catch for me sometimes. You
Yeah.
get to decide how you feel about it. I understand the sentiment. I want to be clear. I understand the sentiment of the golden rule. Um,
Yes.
But I think that there are people out there who demonstrate self-loathing, and they try to heal that in their own misguided way by causing self-harm. And if that is how they feel they want to be treated, are they then translating that into treating others like that? That's my only little caveat with the golden rule.
I like the Jesus golden rule.
Yeah.
Love God, love yourself, love neighbors as you love yourself, right?
Mhm.
So it's in there. Jesus told us you're supposed to love yourself like you love God, because God is right inside of us, right?
Yeah.
So
There's
you're
there's
doing so great.
there's a community, a spiritual community in Tucson, and their mission statement starts with love only.
Love only. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
I've
really
been there.
where that comes from. Love
Yeah.
only.
Love only.
Yeah.
Love
So,
only. Yes.
mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
my comments are going weird. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
here, my mom's here.
Hi. Hi, Mom.
AI came up with this: a feeling of deep connection with nature, a sense of unity within a family of or community, and a spiritual belief that all things are interconnected or part of a single divine being. Is that what AI thinks sentient being is? That's so deep.
That is feeling of deep connection with nature.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Oxford is just like able to perceive or feel things.
Yeah.
But AI is like, oh, look at all the deep connection with nature and unity. And these are beautiful things. These are beautiful things.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to click down the comments there. There we go.
Yeah, I think we're good at the moment. I want to. You have that comment that was put up last week, though. You have that
Mhm.
available, right? Because I
I
do
do
want to
have
talk
that.
about that. Do you mind pulling it up and reading it?
Yeah, Katie brought up last week. She said, my recent rant has been about someone that I thought was a friend using me. But hey, I recognize the manipulations a lot sooner this time. I know it's about what I have attracted here, but how do I not attract users when all I really want to do is help others without getting boned in the process? Yeah. So like my initial thing, right, is that um based on the language there is, firstly, forgive yourself for allowing someone to use you or allowing yourself to be used. Like forgiveness of
Mhm.
self is first. Then I would say celebrate the awareness you had before you got into deep, right? Before you got into deep, you recognized the manipulation sooner than previously. So kudos to you. Like
Yeah.
this, that's amazing. These opportunities, because that's what they are, they're opportunities. These opportunities happen so that we can see better, see faster, see farther, see sooner, see consciously.
Mhm.
So, like again, love yourself through this situation. It's not your fault
Mhm.
that this has happened. It's an opportunity to adjust, course correct, shift, change, evolve, grow, and use the material for your next mission. The next time this experience is going on, you're going to catch it sooner. You're going to catch it
Yeah.
faster. I mean, that's my whole last 2 years has been me catching this experience, and then going, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need that in my life anymore. I've got the lesson, and so now I can see it way sooner. I don't need to engage with people I know are going to be doing things that are inappropriate in my mind, because I've seen that happen. That's their pattern. It doesn't have to be our pattern.
Yeah.
So,
There's another thing in that, though, uh, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the question right in front of me. But Katie mentions it's the law of attraction, and how can I like not attract that, right?
mhm, mhm,
Um, I think there's a underlying thing there that I'm just going to point out, and it speaks to a conversation that I like to have actually pretty frequently, which is the difference between blame and responsibility.
mm,
Because
mhm.
yes, we are responsible for what we attract in our lives, But I think it's really important to not go down the path of blaming ourselves for the things we've attracted in our lives, which is to beat ourselves up, to say, oh, how could I possibly have done that? What, oh, my least
Again.
favorite question, in New Thought might surprise you is, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
What was I thinking to bring that into my life? You know what? Doesn't matter anymore. Irrespective of what you might have been thinking that drew that into your sphere of experience, responsibility means that you have a capacity right now to recognize what has transpired and make a new thought, to make a new choice, to make a new decision, to embody a new belief and move forward from that point of view. And it may take practice to do that. And so I think really, I'm going to go back to what you said, which is honor the progress that has, you honor the progress that you recognized it sooner. And as you narrow the gap, which I often talk about, you narrow the gap of something unfolding and your recognition of what it actually is. As you narrow the gap and realize as it unfolds what it actually is, you begin to transform your life so that those things can no longer maintain themselves.
Yeah.
And one morning, if you engage in the spiritual practice, it's almost like we feel like it's magic, because one morning it's like we wake up and I go, oh, I'm not having that experience anymore. Like, when did that happen? Well, you worked at it.
Yeah.
You practiced.
Yeah. I call that the rebound time. Yeah. The rebound time that's all we're doing. We're just shortening the rebound time through in between every aspect of the life.
Right.
I would also say, it's Science of Mind 101, right? The statement of how not to do that. We actually want to shift the consciousness there to demonstrate or to focus on what it is we do want. So if we don't want to be used, what is it that we do want? And then we start living from that place instead of focusing on what we don't want. What we focus on grows.
Expands.
So it expands. So how are we reaffirming what it is we do want? Like one of my things that I've been using for umpteen flipping years is, cancel, or Control-Alt-Delete. If like when I catch myself being in the place that I don't want to be in consciously, Control-Alt-Delete, I state a new thing. I turn away from the condition and turn towards the light I want in my life, the power that I want to show up in my life. So that's like the little tweakings, and that's the practice. We do focus spiritual practice, but we are practicing every day, all day long, because we are thinking 20,000 thoughts a day. The more we catch, more than that, yeah. the ones we catch, right? If we're working on our stuff, and our stuff is about negativity, our stuff is about judgment, our stuff is about lack. If that's what we're working on, we're not actually working on those things. We're working on limitlessness, abundance, prosperity. Like, we're shifting our consciousness. So when we catch those negative things, and I'm only using the word negative to describe what we don't want, it's not good or bad, up or down. Then the more we get to practice changing our thoughts, changing how we respond, changing how we react to whatever it is that we don't want.
Yeah. You make me think about this. I'm actually trying to look it up right now, because I don't remember the exact source of it. But I'm gonna try to find it. There is a lot of I can't find it, so I'm just going to talk about it. There is a lot of emphasis placed on healing, right? Because we're a healing philosophy. And I think that we may want to really start to let go of that language, because Ernest Holmes, and this is the quote I was trying to find, and I know it's somewhere, but Ernest Holmes, maybe it wasn't Holmes, and it doesn't matter. I'll figure out where the quote came from. But one of the mystics, New Thought, and I'm pretty sure it was Holmes, said, "There's nothing to be healed.
Yeah.
There is nothing to be healed, only God to be revealed."
Yes.
Right? So what if we changed our whole point of view and approach to letting go of the notion that I have to heal something in my life, when in fact, what is mine to do is to reveal God in my life? How might that transform our approach to New Thought? To
Yeah.
stop saying it's a healing philosophy. It's a revealing philosophy.
Absolutely. I mean, there's courses called Revealing Wholeness.
And what is it that we are revealing but the divine essence at the core of all creation?
Yeah.
And remembering, because now we've talked about love only, you've actually talked about forgive everything. And so now the third part of our mission statement here is remember who you are.
Yeah.
Because if God is the essence of all creation, we're not separate from that. So our very essence is God.
Yeah. God is never broken.
No.
And all of its aspects are never broken.
Right. Yeah.
So there's nothing broken in me. It is the human condition that has taught us, oh, that's good. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's wrong. Like other people have told me I'm a horrible person. I have never had an original thought that I'm a horrible person. That's not my original thought. My original thought is that like authenticity. I want to be me, and other people's opinions of me don't matter.
Right.
God's opinion of me is that I'm here. If I'm here, I'm a part of it. It is a part of me. There is nothing broken and there's nothing to be fixed.
Yeah. I also thought when you said that, I'm just going to use that phrase you just said, other people have told me that I was a horrible person. And what came to mind is, and I was, as long as I agreed with them.
As long as I agreed with them.
And that agreement may be tacit. It may be below the level of awareness.
Oh, for sure.
Because there may be that subconscious part of me looking at all the ways that support what they are claiming. And then that will continue to play out. And so my responsibility in that is to remind myself that at the core, I am divine. And I can move forward from this point, irrespective of what happened in the past, from the point of view of love only. And then I can step into forgive them. They know not what they do. Right? In their articulation of an idea that is their idea. It's their idea, not mine, unless I
their
agree.
Perceptions, their feelings.
Yeah. And I don't have to vilify them for it. They get to have that idea about me if they want.
Yeah. And because we are aware, we're the ones who are aware. Like if anyone is trying to oppress or control you, and you are aware of the oppression or the control, you are the one who is awake. And so you get to be awake in that situation. And I've told this story all the time there was some angry people in my life, and I'm sitting here going, why they can't see what they're doing. They can't see what they're doing. I see it. And I like this little image came to my mind of a little baby bluebird. Because if I'm awake, if I'm conscious and aware and present, and I'm aware of my power, which I am, we have choice. We are a choice. We can either go, oh, poor little baby bluebird. They don't know they're shitting in my hand. They don't know. They don't know. Or I can be angry and upset and crush their spirit because I know how to do that. I am aware of all of the buttons they have shown me. Right? We get to participate and engage at choice. And the more Power is responsibility. If
Yeah.
if you know how powerful you are, you have the responsibility to use that power. And I would say loving, generously, in kindness, with compassion, with patience. Like I the attributes of life
Hmm.
are in that power and presence that you are aware of and that you possess. So
Yeah.
how are you showing up? It is, it's my responsibility. I like today, in my life today, there's still opportunities for me to go, no, no, no. I'm the one who's aware of this situation. I'm the one that's aware. They are acting around me unaware.
Hmm.
All the players in this play don't know they're in a play. And
Right.
I know that I have that it is a play and that I can rewrite the second act.
Yes. Um, your mom wrote something here that
Mm.
I'd like to talk about. Maybe in similar situations, we should think like Spock with logic and not with ego.
Hmm.
Um, I would say, I actually, yeah, I think there's value in that. And I think the difference for me would be to say, are we thinking with spiritual logic or
Hmm.
conditional logic?
Hmm.
That's the thing that I would want to differentiate there, because I think that thinking with spiritual logic is the direction I would want to go. I also, and Wayne actually put it up here because I have a different take on ego. Many people say it's edging God out. Wayne says, and I agree, expressing God only.
Hmm.
And that is differentiating the psychological ego definition from the spiritual ego definition, because ego really does mean I am. And if we are approaching life from the point of view of I am, then I believe we probably are expressing God only. So if I were to ask you, Steph, and I'm going to ask you, if I were going to ask you, because now I'm going to ask the question. It's so funny how we phrase things sometimes. How would you differentiate spiritual ego from conditional ego? Or not
Like,
ego,
well, conditional
logic.
ego.
Spiritual logic from conditional logic.
Oh yeah,
That's what
spiritual logic, conditional logic. I think like spiritual logic, I would, it would have like a placement for the divine attributes of like compassion,
Mhm,
right? Spiritual logic would have the essence of of feeling, I
mhm,
guess. In For me, conditional logic, it is like the rules of order. And like we sometimes get confused by conditional logic. Like if it's that way for one person, it must be good for everyone. Like some logic can be damaging.
mm.
I mean, the series of bones. He's a very logical. I won't get into any spoilers, but I was like, what? He's so logical. How could that happen? But yeah, logic. Like if we get stuck in a conditional logical realm, then we are surface logic. Where spiritual logic would be more, yeah, the sense of, if Spock had feelings and was compassionate, if Spock was a minister, or if Spock was a mystic, it would be like, what would Spock as a mystic look like?
The funny thing is, as you say that, I'm like, he is a mystic.
He is a mystic, yeah,
He would look
right, yeah.
exactly
So
like
I
he is,
know,
and
Spock. Like
exactly.
I love that level of logic. I'm a very logical person. I don't do sarcasm. I take people at their word. Sarcasm, I believe you. I believe you. And so
I,
sarcasm for me just means, well, now do I trust you ever? I don't know.
well, I'm like, how are you my friend then? Because I'm one of the most sarcastic people I know.
I don't feel like you've ever been sarcastic with me.
Really? And that was not sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to be
No.
clear. Um,
I don't have a lot of people in my life continuously, who would choose to be flamboyantly sarcastic with me?
I think, well, maybe I have a false sense of self that I've adopted from what people have told me. I have friends who used to call me Sass Master Zenz because their perception of me was, I am wildly sarcastic in my
Oh,
interactions. And it's, it's, I don't know.
I think you can be sassy.
I can definitely be sassy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to rethink 13 years of relationship now to find some sarcasm. I just
If I have a sarcastic
mhm.
expression, um, I really don't think that it is about trying to diminish anyone else. If anything, I'll be diminishing myself. I'll be sarcastic about something that's,
Mhm.
that I can turn it right back on myself.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of self-deprecating humor. I do engage in self-deprecating humor, but I also recognize that it's humor, and
Yeah.
and the reason it can be sarcastic is because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Logic based in love versus logic based in fear, maybe. Yeah,
It's a good one.
yeah, I
Mhm.
like that. Differentiating between spiritual logic and conditional logic.
Mhm.
Well, that totally tracks because
Yeah.
what is spirit other than unconditional love? And
Yes.
conditions are what often drive us into states of fear when we
Yeah.
believe the condition. Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
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 My mom thinks you're
See,
right, Martha.
see, we're just here to invite you to let
Mhm.
your inner
Mhm.
mystic out. And I'm so grateful for the
Yeah.
conversation and all the comments today because, you know, I always say in my classes that I facilitate that I learn just as much as my students in those experiences.
For sure.
Yeah, and this is one of the venues in which I love to learn and
Mhm.
think about things differently. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, and I've grown so much simply because you're really great at asking questions without having any feeling about the response, right? Like that you're genuinely asking a question
Mhm.
and allowing the space for all of us to come to that self discovery, right? Like
Mm.
that's what the journey is: self inquiry, self discovery, self awakening to that power and presence, and having amazing people in our lives that ask questions and then zip it, right? That's beautiful. I mean, I married one of those. I like Tammy always asks questions and then waits for the answer, and we that's self-discernment in inquiry. Like we get, this is the only mind we get to engage with, is the one that's right here.
Mhm.
It's not even right here. The mind is everywhere, but I always do this because the brain is like
Well, that's what we've been
yeah,
culturalized into.
culturalized. Yeah, so
But this is mind as well.
this is mind. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that each of us, like my hope and prayer for every one of us, is to find ourselves so interesting we care enough to discover who we are.
Mhm.
We are so interesting. My mind is always going, whoa, that's an interesting thought. Like we are interesting. Pay attention to your thoughts. They will tell you things you need to know. Pay attention to the feeling tones that you get in your heart and your gut, because your body is a tuning fork. Like
Mhm.
we are a divine experiment. Play today. Play in your own beingness. You are worth knowing who you are. You are worth knowing so deeply, so profoundly, because God made you exactly to be the unique and unrepeatable expression that you are. You are source. So discover your source. And, you just get to be, that. And the less we worry about society or tradition or anything else, because that is hand me down thoughts. What's your original thought? What's your original creation of your unique and unrepeatable self. You get to design that and live that and be that.
You, um, sorry, I'm having actually a delightful emotional response
Mm.
to what you've said. There are two things that have come up for me, and that is, um, for me, one of the greatest spiritual pursuits and one of the greatest faculties. Actually, I'll describe it like this: one of the greatest divine faculties that we all have at our disposal is the faculty of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And curiosity is living, in many ways, I will define it like this: living in the question.
Mm-hmm.
And, not assuming the answer, but being on the journey of discovery. And I think the reason I'm having an emotional and really deep feeling response to what you've said, Steph, is because I'm very grateful to you for articulating something that I didn't know necessarily that I did, which is ask questions without, how did you phrase it? I ask questions without assuming, in a way. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's
In a
really,
way, yeah.
yeah. And I think that that's a really important way to live life.
Mm-hmm.
That for me, you get to decide what's important for you. I mean, I will always go back to that, right? I can only speak to myself.
Yeah.
I feel very honored by the way you articulated that,
Mm. You're
because
welcome.
yeah, I thank you, because I think it answers a question that sometimes comes up for me, because I don't really know. I've never really given it I've never really given it a lot of thought. But there are people who come up to me and say, who have described me to my face, are like, "You're a master teacher." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know what makes me a master teacher, and I think that that may be part of the makeup, is
Mm-hmm.
how I articulate questions without expectation of,
Mm-hmm.
you have to answer the way I think you're going to answer. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Being able to answer from the self instead of answering from what we think you want to hear.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Aw.
sorry. Just
That's so beautiful. Thanks, Lorelai. I
okay.
love that. Oh, and your body is a tuning fork. Absolutely.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we really took, if we really deep into the awareness of physiological responses more than we do,
Mm-hmm.
um, wow.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martha says, I believe curiosity is an antidote to fear and is a healing balm in that way.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like the body, the tuning fork, and the waking mind, right? The body and the mind, we are deeply connected.
Mhm.
And I've like I have a history, like a 25-year history of like that's half my life, you guys. Depression and like chronic anxiety disorder. And so I had some stress this past week, and that was higher than normal, but it was a physical thing. My mind has stopped being anxious and nervous or fearful. My mind has stopped. It knows. It does its affirmations. I'm talking about my mind in a third person now. Um, it knows. It's awake. And so it has become the observer of the body so that I can get the information without allowing the anxiety to fill the mind with the stories of whoa. But so this past week, like Monday, I think, I'm like, oh, I'm having an anxiety attack. Why am I having an anxiety attack? And it's like, it's so interesting because the body is doing its thing, but the mind is like, it'll pass. You've been here before. There's nothing, the body just hasn't caught up with the mind's awakeness.
Mhm.
And so I trust that, the more this happens, the more the gooder I get at this, that there'll be a day where I just don't have anxiety ever again. Like it's just like that, the wave, right? We
Yeah.
fix the thought, you put the new battery in, and it still takes some, the juice still has to get through the whole thing before it wakes up again. So the thought has been planted, but the body's still releasing all of that stuff from the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get to be attuned to that,
Mm-hmm.
like our body is attuning to our new self. And but yeah, it's a different effect
Mm-hmm.
between having anxiety in the mind and in the body.
Yeah.
The body is just it's a mental, it's a muscle memory of something that it used to know. And it's going to catch up because it's lessening and lessening and lessening.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Well, I think we have to wind down, even though this is a
Ooh,
juicy,
yeah.
juicy conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're almost to the end.
Yes. Well, let's remind Tucson again, Arizona folks. Let's
Right.
remind them again.
If you are in Arizona, just a reminder, everyone else,
Everyone else, except for
um,
Saskatchewan.
is everyone else is going off daylight savings time on Sunday. And so we do not observe daylight savings time in Arizona, or most of Arizona does not observe daylight savings time. So the rant next week, if you are in Arizona, will be an hour later. It will start at 10:30, not 9:30, because that's the way the clock works and the way that we've designed it. So I just want to remind you, an hour later next week, don't be surprised if you try to log on at 9:30 and we're not there, because we won't be.
But if you're in Pacific, and if
Still
you're
9:30
in
Pacific,
if you're in Central or Eastern,
11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern.
everything stays the same.
Yeah, but we'll be at 10:30, just like the rest of the Mountain Time Zone next week.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to let people know about is this is the 5th Wednesday of the month, and here at Unity of Tucson, if you are in Tucson and you would like to join us at 6:30 tonight, it starts at 6:30, so show up a few minutes early. We have a healing circle experience. It is an in-person, about an hour of contemplation, meditation, music, and a chamber of prayer with our prayer chaplains here. Would love to have you join us for that.
Nice.
And on Sunday, come join us or watch us online. We have Jamie Lula as our guest in service, musician Jamie Lula, who's spectacular. If you're in Tucson, he's also having a concert at 1 p.m. Sunday afternoon here. So would love to see you for that.
Yes.
Yeah. And if
support
you want
New Thought artists, go to a great concert.
And you can get tickets at unitytucson.com or find out about our services at unitytucson.com. So what's happening for you, Steph?
This Saturday, we've got Contemplation Corner happening, which is the first Saturday of every month. It's also All Saints Day, so great day to be a saint. And so that is, you can find out, get the links for the Zoom room right there on our website, oneloveawaken.com. And we're going, right now we're working through Living the Science of Mind. So we're going to deep dive into the law of mental equivalence, which is like, if you enjoyed today's rant, come and converse about mental equivalence, because there is a law, a universal law that will support you in changing your mind. So all of those details are on the website, and that's our next thing. I look for, there's so much. Contemplation Corner is so fun.
Yeah. And if you have any topics that you want us to rant on, I'm realizing we didn't change yours. I'm like, which way am I pointing? We didn't change your thing, but you can always send it to Rev Jonathan at unitytucson.com or Steph at oneloveawakening.com
or .com. Since you're on the website to get the Contemplation Corner information anyway, you can just hit the contact form and it will shoot me an email right there.
Yeah. Lots of ways to engage. And we love when you engage with us. It was so great to have so much chat today and be able to interact with you. So thank you all for that.
Yes. Thanks, everybody.
blessed week. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Love and blessings. Oh wait, we've got the tune out song.
What?
There we go.